Hi everybody, Rabbanit Bracha here. Parashat Emor, which will begin tonight in a few hours. I wanted to bring a question that Reb Moshe Feinstein answers really beautifully. We read in Parashat Kedoshim, which we have just read, a certain halacha, a certain mitzvah. Let me read it to you. This is about how to be holy in our world. In chapter 19, verses 9 and 10, it says, "Uvekutzrechem et kitzir artechem lo techale pe'atzatcha liktzor, velechet kitzircha lo telaket," which means, when you reap your land's harvest in Israel, do not completely harvest the ends of your fields, meaning you have to leave the corners, do not pick up individual stalks that had fallen, and continuing on, when you in the kerem, in the vineyards, do not pick up individual fallen grapes. Why? Because lager ve'ani ve'lager ta'azovotam. You have to leave them for the poor and the stranger. Ani Hashem Elokechem. I am the Lord your God. Okay, beautiful. That is how we are holy. That's how we move in the world. Then, in this week's parasha, in Emor, we seem to have a repeat of the same thing. After the telling about the Mo'adim, the holiday of Pesach, and then moving to Shavuot and talking about the Omer, at the end of that passage, talking about Shavuot, there's a surprising pasuk right afterwards. Right after, in 23:21, it says, it'll be a holiday, you will call it a holiday, and it's mentioning the holiday of Shavuot. There's a surprising pasuk in 22, "Uvekutzechem v'kitzir artechem," and when you reap your land's harvest, and we do know that Shavuot is about the harvest, what does it say? Lo techale pe'atzatcha b'kutzcha. Do not completely harvest the ends of your fields. Veleket kitzircha lo telaket. Do not pick up individual stalks that may have fallen. Why? Le'ani ve'lager ta'azovotam. Leave them for the poor and for the stranger. Ani Hashem Elokechem. I am the Lord your God. Leket shichecha and pe'ah. About leaving corners of your field, about not picking up items that have fallen, and etc. And this is for the poor and the stranger. But what is so surprising is that it seems to be repeated almost word for word. Rav Moshe Feinstein has a beautiful answer to this, and he says like this. So the first time in Kedoshim, it is about being aware, making the farmer aware that his or her land does not actually belong to him or her. It is God's land, and therefore one must share the bounty with people who need it. And it's bringing it front and center to make sure that the farmer knows that it's in the farmer's muda'ut, in the farmer's awareness. And then here, when we get to Emor, when we get to the holidays, it's about something a little different. What is it? At the beginning, when it talks about Pesach, we talk about bringing the korban, the offering for the barley harvest. And then 50 days later, it is bringing the wheat harvest, bringing the special offering on Shavuot. Well, we might think, okay, if we have a field where we brought the barley offering and we brought the wheat offering, we know that these fields are for God, that these fields are fields that don't belong to us completely. They belong to God. Maybe we don't need to worry about those other leket shichacham pe'ah, leaving the corners of the field. So it comes here to tell us, no. There's another reason that you must do it, the more important reason. And that is because you actually always have to leave for the poor and for the needy. Always. You can't say, well, I already dedicated part of this for God, but I always have to leave it for poor and needy. And I think this is about mitzvot ben adam lemakom, between us and God, and mitzvot ben adam lechavero, between us and our fellow human beings, our fellow Jews, but also our fellow human beings that make us better people. And it's just after the pasuk, the verse on Shavuot. Shavuot is receiving the Torah. That is what we commemorate. And the Torah is full of all of these laws that connect us to God and our belief in God, that make us a better person in our belief in God and in fulfilling the mitzvot between us and God, but also about making us much better people as we relate to other people in the world. Maybe it's be a Shabbat where we think of which mitzvot we do, ben adam lemakom, between us and God, which mitzvot we do between us, ben adam la'adam, between chavero, between us and our fellow Jews, our fellow human beings, and which mitzvot actually touch on both of those topics. Maybe a Shabbat Shalom to everybody.